So let me take any questions you might have in the remaining time we have about any things we've covered or anything else we have not covered. So who has the first question? Yeah, please.
How regularly, or say you have a mission statement and your values, is there ever a time that you change those in your life?
The question is, with the values or the mission statement, how regularly do we change those? Yeah, I update mine. I find though that with the mission statement, it tends to stick. I've sort of, over a long last 20 years, I've been refining it. So I've finally got it to a point where it basically covers. The values too, they generally tend to be consistent. Slight changes over time. It's probably around the goals in my different roles that change, because the goals get done. You know, you've got a certain, it gets done, like that's done. Or the goal drops out because situation has changed. Or I've got a more pressing goal that I need to work on, I bring that in. So that's where I find the variation is more in the goals and roles, the what, why and how part changes for me. Yeah, here's the next question. Yeah, please.
What would be the tips from you to maintain or keep reminding myself to do the most important and urgent thing? And I mean non-urgent things.
Yes. So the question is, what is a tip on how to remind myself to make sure that I'm doing the most productive thing every moment with my time? I think the tip I would give you is before you start it, before you get into it, like the email comes, you think, oh, well, I've got to answer that. Before you go to that point, say, is answering this email the most productive use of my time? You might think, I can probably do that later, and you skip it. Go back to your priority list for that day and look and say, what's a higher priority that I need to get done first? If that email is a priority, you can add it to the list, or it can go on the next day's list. So I think it's before you actually get started, because once we get into the item, the time's gone. You've already started. It's too late then. You've already gone. So before you start, is what I'm about to do the most productive use of my time at this moment? Is this part of my list of priorities for today that I need to achieve? If it's important, capture it, and then maybe assign a lower priority to it on that day or a higher priority the next day, because it may not be something you have to do on that day. And for my to-do list, I'm constantly transferring things across. If they don't get done on this day, I pick them up for the next day and I just write them down again, add the new priorities, and I reprioritize the whole thing. I start again. Because a priority on, say, a Wednesday may change. There may be a more urgent priority on the Thursday. So it'll still be there. It doesn't get lost. That's the key. It doesn't get lost. But the priority issuance will change. There's the next question. Yeah, please.
You talked about making a to-do list every day in the morning and trying to also update your goals every day. How many minutes or how many hours are you putting every day for just making a to-do list?
Yeah, I'd probably spend about, well, the question is how many minutes a day do I spend working on going through the mission, the values, and working up the priority list? I would probably spend around about 10 to 15 minutes a day on that, because I try to read through everything, remind myself of my why, get down all my priorities, transfer the priorities from the previous day that didn't get completed into today's priority list, add the new things. I'll scan email, and then it comes up, oh, that's got to be done, put that down, but don't do it. Sometimes with time difference, because we have a headquarters in New York, I might actually have to do something straight away because just the time difference. There's a zone where there's an overlap. I say, well, I'm going to make that the priority. I can do it in 2 minutes. Boom, get it done. So basically about 10 to 15 minutes. But it's uninterrupted time. And I find, oh, it's sad. It's really sad. The difference between the days when I prioritize and the days I don't prioritize. It's sad. The difference is so huge. I'm so much less effective on those days where the prioritization didn't get done. And it happens sometimes. Something happens, you know. Like today, I haven't done it today. I have to go back to my desk now and do it. But I might get sucked into a whole bunch of things and not do it. And today will be a disaster compared to if I did do it. So I'm telling you now, that simple act, and it's very tough to make the choice. Oh, is this one more of a higher priority than that one? Don't fret over that too much. Get the most important things done. You'll be doing very, very well. Here's the final question. I think you were first, just by a whisker, but I'll come back to you. We'll add an omake there and do an extra one.
I wanted to ask you about the to-do list and to-be list. Sometimes to-do list could be go on and on from A10 to C10.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to, cover everything a day, but still you go back every morning, go through your to-do list. How do you reshuffle, reprioritize the leftover priority?
Well, the question is about the to-be list and the to-do list, and with the to-do list, how do you reshuffle the priorities? The to-be list is a long-term thing. In the back of that little Success Focus book, you've got long-term goals. Your to-be list is usually your long-term goals. The reshuffling is, as I transfer them across and add to them, I just go through the list and I decide, well, that was a higher priority yesterday, I didn't get done, but something's happened in that day that trumps that just overtakes that by time urgency or value. And I just rewrite it, because I'm always writing in pencil, and I often have to readjust the numbers. I have to say, well, that was an A7. It's now got to become an A3 because something's happened. Although rarely I actually bother doing that. I just move it up mentally and then just keep going. But I must come back to A4. I shouldn't go to B5 or something. I've got to stick with the trick is the highest priority items must get my time. Last question over here.
Okay, so, to me, it's still like 10 hours per week for me time.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite long. So just wondering, so me time, what's the clear definition of me time? Is it like something not only professional but maybe personal, just thinking about me, or?
Me time, the question is about me time, thinking that 10 hours a week seems a lot for me time. The me time I'm talking about there is professional. It is in your job, working on your business. That means planning, direction, thinking about the critical items of your business, rather than just doing the routine daily work of your business. And so what we're asking you to do here is step back, look at the tasks and say, okay, which ones will advance the business more than others, and I should concentrate my time there, as opposed to I'm doing routine work, or I'm doing detail work, or I'm doing something that takes time but doesn't help me directionally. That's why I said before, the key question is why. Why are you doing this? Why are you working in this section of the business? Why are you trying to achieve these things? If you're refreshing those in your mind, then you will make the me time. The me time is, it could be a project you're working on, and you say, I'm going to give an hour every day to that particular project or projects. And I'm just going to concentrate on that one thing. Or I've got a particular report, I'm going to spend an hour every day putting that report together. And I'm not going to be interrupted by anything else, because this is a very high priority for me. That's what me time means. It's not me time as in, I'm going to go to Starbucks and have a cup of coffee for an hour. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about it's work related, it's specific, it's high value, it's something usually only you should be doing. Because if it's someone else can do it, delegate it. It's something only you can do that's really going to make a difference on the direction of the business. We're at time, so let me say thank you very much for coming out this morning. I hope you enjoyed that. You will find that PDF file on our site, and we will email you the PowerPoint from today, so you've got it as your own record. So I hope to see you again. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.